good. That's good.
Yeah, that's nice.
Oh, that's so cute. That's my favorite picture so far.
I'm come from Somalia. I'm coming to America because Somalia, the life is no good. Then it killed my father and my two brothers and my sister because I'm from a small clan.
Okay. What are we?
This Kabati.
Are they all the same?
And this one is jalapeno pepper. Somalia, remember, is in the whole of Africa. Tradition for many different cultures through different centuries.
Somalia is a country where everyone is born into a particular clan. There are majority clans and minority clans. So Amina has experienced a lifetime of abuse and persecution because she's a member of one of these minority clans. And in addition to that, she has experienced a number of terrible incidents because she's a female member of one of these minority clans. After Amina was attacked and after her sister was gang raped and murdered, Amina's mother just realized that it was imperative that she remove Amina from Somalia to save her life. So she sold the only possession that she had, which was the family home, to get enough money to pay a smuggler to bring Amina to the United States. So when she arrived in the United States, the U.S. officials recognized that the papers were not valid and immediately took Amina into custody. I received an email from an organization called Human Rights First, which is an organization that pre-screens detainees in these detention centers and their cases. They forward case lists to a number of law firms in the city, and I read a synopsis of what had happened to Amina in Somalia, and I was so moved by what happened to her, I just knew I had to take her case and represent her. When Amina first arrived at the detention center, she hadn't slept in days, she'd never been on a plane, she was completely exhausted, dehydrated, and very afraid since she didn't speak English and no one could explain to her what was happening. And she had a bit of a panic attack and fainted. The doctors took her to a hospital and misdiagnosed her and started giving her a drug called Risperdal that is an extremely potent antipsychotic drug that had enormous and devastating side effects on Amina. The medical attention that she received was really terrible because they never once brought in a Somali interpreter to speak with her, and they didn't monitor the side effects that this drug was causing her. And I think not only did they not monitor the side effects, they didn't recognize what the side effects were. There was a litany of telltale side effects and devastating ones that she exhibited after taking the Risperdal. And rather than recognize that she was not responding well to this drug, which she didn't need in the first place, they kept increasing the dosage, which made her condition all the worse. For example, it made her shake like she had Parkinson's disease. She was drooling. She was extremely confused. A lot of the time she had trouble walking. She'd sometimes fall off her chair. She started to lactate. So I retained 2 doctors, but what was interesting, and this is something that I was not expecting to happen from both of these doctors coming to examine Amina, was that they both instantly recognized that she was being given an antipsychotic drug based on the side effects. I knew something was off with Amina, but I didn't know her before. I've certainly never met a refugee from Somalia before, and I didn't recognize the side effects and the signs and symptoms of someone who was not responding well to an antipsychotic drug. Well, the trained professionals instantly recognized it, and in fact, the psychiatrist guessed that it was Risperdal. We didn't have a copy of the medical records yet, and they both wrote detailed letters to the detention center doctors explaining their credentials, that they gave Amina a full examination, critically with a Somali interpreter, and that they found absolutely no history of psychosis, that if she's on an antipsychotic drug, it must be stopped because of all of these terrible side effects that Amina was experiencing. And Amina gave these handwritten letters to the detention center doctors. That was the only way that we could communicate with them. So I understand from Amina that the doctor's reaction was, well, who's your doctor? Is your lawyer now your doctor? I'm your doctor, and I think you need this medication, and I think you should keep taking it.
The medicine made me sick. I feel dizzy all the time. I'm confused, I'm drawing, and then my breast come out milk. The doctor said the medicine is good for you, and then me I tell I don't want to take normal.
We had so many additional obstacles to overcome because of the crazy medical care that she received. Frankly, it made it very difficult for me to be able to prepare my client to testify. That whole episode with her doubled over in pain and not being seen by a doctor for a couple weeks and being taken to the hospital, that happened about 2 weeks before her trial was resuming. So I was supposed to be out visiting her on either a daily basis or at least a couple of times a week to go over her testimony, to prepare her to be cross-examined, and I couldn't do any of that prep with her because she was too sick. So, and then I got sidetracked by having to prepare this habeas petition, staying up all night to force the government to take her to a hospital when I should have been preparing her case. I mean, there were all these other legal issues that were flying around because of the medical care that we shouldn't have had to deal with. So it was a wonderful experience when the judge granted her asylum. It was truly remarkable. And then I started to think, okay, well, now what? Once she gets out, then I just started to plan all of the things that she was going to have to do, and I'm going to have to get her in school and, you know, make sure that she's got a nice place to live, and all of these separate things that I hadn't really allowed myself to think of while she was in the asylum process, because what if she didn't get asylum?
Hannah, she did to me a lot of things. I began in school because of her health. 3 Elizabeth Detention Center because of her health. She saved my life. She's my best friend now. White House is that building.
Well, it's big and white, but it's not the White House. That's the Capitol building. Well, we'll go there next.
Yeah, because I see that one there in the news.
Oh, and you thought that was the White House? Okay.
Yeah, I think that is the White House.
America
is a good country. I'm very happy.